All right, there we go. There we go. So let's get this going. So, guys, man, lots of technical difficulties today. Jeez. All right, here we go. Here we go. And boop, there we go. Welcome to Alchemy 101, guys. How you doing? And thank you for that. My name is Halo Marques, the alchemist, Jedi, wizard, fun, human being working on these other things. Jay, what's up, baby? I see you. If you guys are with me on Artist First right now, we do have a live broadcast that we do a video podcast as well. Alex, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. Usually I do a live podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, so on. For some reason, Facebook's not working tonight. So Facebook crew, you guys are going to have to catch me on YouTube. So our YouTube channel is orderofalchemy.org. And Alex, I see you in there. Thanks a lot. Tonight, I'm super, super excited to talk to you guys. This is a huge topic that we bounce around and come in and out of a whole bunch. And so tonight, I want to really talk to you guys about ways of unlocking the wizard, if you'll pardon the intention, but really that's really what we talk about within alchemy. So we go from lifestyle ideas to better ways of living to conscious thinking, a number of different things of just trying to improve our status, our state of well-being that right now, not really just for us, but for the whole planet. And those of us that realize how connected we all really are know that it's this huge responsibility. And a lot of times I think it's that responsibility that scares so many people away. And this is why a lot of religions have such a hold, because it takes away a lot of the responsibility that someone else is going to make it better, someone else is going to improve, as to where within this whole, woke conscious movement that's just been sweeping, man. It's insane. I love it so much. Thank you, everyone that's getting these figured out and just getting on board. It's incredible stuff. But due to this, we know the power that we do have, so we don't have that same level of intimidation or worry, if you will, right? And so tonight, I want you guys to figure out and give you some ideas, best practices, so on things that you can do to be able to finally tangibly feel these energies that are out there, right? And so it's nice to hear about them. It's nice to, hope someday it will happen. But if we can give you guys some shortcuts and provide some ways to be able to start feeling this stuff earlier, then the less that you're going to be intimidated about tackling all these things, because you're going to know that you do have the power to accomplish great and many things. And YouTube, guys, sorry, technical difficulties, camera, we're getting it though. Bam. All right. So let's do this. I actually got some visuals because I feel that those things always help when you're trying to talk about this type of stuff. So give me just a moment. Oh yeah, that's right. All right. So Artist First, guys, thank you so much. You guys can catch all the archives if you're new to the channel, whether you're catching me on any of the social media stuff. All of my radio shows are on Artist First, and thank you guys so much. I've been a part of them for a while. Absolutely love doing everything there. And anyone that is listening on Artist First, please, if you get a chance, come take a look at the podcast. We got a lot of people that get involved, interact, have questions, and really that's what this is all about to me. This shouldn't be just a one-way thing. I'm trying to get more people on the show, but everything always has to be within alignment. So it's very, very important. All right. So first off, let's start with energy as a whole. Okay. So with Alchemy 101 on the show, we talk about breaking things down to the brace principles, being able to acknowledge your lead. And by that, I mean the difficulties you have in your life, and then coming to the realization and ability to harness those heavy weighing, negative energetic type things into something that's positive and something that can work for you, something that can be a benefit. So again, not knowing all the things you're capable of. Like if you didn't know that you had the ability to lift a car when your adrenaline kicked in, if someone fell under one, you might not ever even try it because you didn't know you had the power. You did not know you had the ability. So when it comes into these things within the metaphysical field, if you have no tangible proof, you have no way of feeling anything, there's not a shift, something that you have actual evidence that you experience, it's very difficult to be able to fully embrace this type of lifestyle and understanding. So tonight on Alchemy 101, that's what I'm talking to you guys about. Just, unlocking the wizard and learning to feel energy tangibly. So if you guys have any questions, any social media, I see a few of you in there. Just shoot the questions out. Let's have fun. Let's get into some weird shit tonight. It's going to be really, really fun. Guys, so also tonight I'm going to be talking off and on about Mystech, which is my biotech company, only because as I'm going to talk to you guys about how to be able to tangibly feel your energy, I want you guys to also know there's some shortcuts, there's some tools that are out there, and there's some things within the Mystech product line that people aren't always sure how they work or what they're for as far as the energies go. And so as we cover what all of these different things are this evening, I hope that answers some questions for the people in the Mystech community as well. So again, thank you guys for joining me. So getting into it. Okay, so being that you're the human being that you are, right? And you have your physical body, you have your light body. We talk about this on the show pretty often. If you have not gone in and ever had a Reiki treatment done before, you've never learned how to properly meditate, you've never gone in and done like a Qigong ceremony, something like that, it might be difficult to understand these things because our current plane that we're in, our current society, all these things, I apologize to say this, but it's just very set to be a countermeasure for the things that we're capable of. So again, if you were born your entire life with ankle weights on and did not know you had these on, you'd never know to take them off. You'd never know how fast you could actually move. You'd never know the strength that you had and so on. So getting things done like Reiki, acupuncture, I mean, there's a number of different things, guys. So don't subscribe to any one modality ever. Like go out and really look for and find out what works for you. Okay. It's very, very important. But these are just things that I've discovered on my path that worked for me. And so hopefully, again, this works out for you guys. Okay. So with something like Reiki, right, there's a plethora of different versions of what Reiki is, but in base form, the way it was explained to me, and I love this, is when you go to the chiropractor, they crack your spine and make sure everything's in place so you have the proper circulation through your physical body. So Reiki is like the spiritual, energetic version of that, right? And I've told my story before, so we're not going to get into it tonight, but it's a very real thing. And if you're working with an actual Reiki practitioner, you will feel like a warmth, like a tingle, like a euphoric feeling, like just really getting in touch with source energy, just flowing through your entire being. Now, this doesn't always happen the very first time because, again, guys, we're not familiar with this muscle, if you will, or this part of the body. So if you've not exercised it before, it's very unfamiliar, right? It's like, how would you describe what the color blue is without having something to point at? It's very, very difficult. So it's very important you stay diligent on your experiences. You just have to stay on it. You have to keep practicing until the breakthrough happens. And when it happens, anyone will tell you it's like a flood. It's just this wave that happens. So let me pull something up really quick. And then I guess anyone that's listening on the radio, I apologize that you don't have the visual, but as always, I'll do my best to explain. But tonight we're even going to get into some crystal gritting stuff. We're going to get into auras, chakras, different ways of gritting, elemental work. Again, guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. So first off, I'm going to pull up this picture really quick because I think it'll be great. Those of you that know me should also know I'm a very big Dragon Ball Z and anime fan. Very important, right? Now, before I pull this picture up, I want you guys to understand something. A very, very, very good metaphysical guru of mine, very good friend. He's a master Reiki practitioner, organe generator, decades into this stuff, right? Guy really knows his stuff. Absolutely incredible. And one of the things that he told me during his journeys that he ended up in Japan, right? Now, while he was in Japan, what ended up happening was he came across a group of people that were talking to him about energy in some type of temple. I apologize, I can't remember. But essentially what they told them was, Goku, there we go. What he told them was, how you doing, Marisol? Was that a lot of these, especially in the West, you guys have to, or in the East, in the East, the metaphysics, the energy, the Qigong, the energy meridians in the body, this is a very easily acceptable, understood thing, right? So it's only here where it's, but over there, they have these people come into hospitals, come into healing centers. I mean, this is a very real, natural, tangible thing. So my friend was telling me that what they taught him there was a lot of the anime makers and the movie makers there, because they believe in mass consciousness and how real these things are, they dictate a very specific flow of how they make these shows and give visuals as to what happens with the energy body in different ways of harnessing and channeling that. Like Nickelodeon's The Last Avatar has an amazing episode where it talks about meditation meditation, breaks down how to open up your chakras through breathing. Amazing, amazing stuff, because they also understand that mass consciousness is very much so a thing. So the idea is, as kids are watching this, because they're still connected to source, they haven't been told that this stuff is not real, which it is. It's just not in, with so many co-creators against it right now. But anyways, that some kid will actually have a breakthrough, and then mass consciousness will spread and everyone will be able to see this. So, for anyone that's like, oh, God is using a cartoon, guys, I have a picture of Goku up in God form with the huge energy aura and everything. It just has a visualization so you guys can understand this is very similar to what the energy body would look like. Now, obviously in this picture, it's pretty erratic and aggressive. I do have another picture, but I just thought that the fact of what's going on with that was really important, that you guys should know about that. All right. So let me get this out of there real quick. But so this energy body that you have, right? And there's a multitude of layers, the same way that there's a multitude of spectrum within the colors, right? This is just a normal thing. All right. You guys with me? So stop. Bam. All right. So you're regular, as a unenlightened person, right? Alex, sorry. What I understand about the character Goku, like creating fire around them or base. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's amazing. It's amazing. What is this? Oh, all right. So at base level, right, where your skin level is, right, your epidermal, where that is, for the most part, that's where most people's energy field expands to, just at skin level. That's it. And so a lot of times when we're like, why can't feel people from over there? It's because your energy channels are closed. They're shut down. The things are not flowing properly. Your field is not expansive and balanced as it should be. And they even have like tools out there now that you can go in and get these things measured and recorded, and you can actually see what's going on with your energy being. It's incredible. So that's your typical person, right? Now, when you go in and you get, say, an attunement with Reiki, okay, because with Reiki you can get a treatment done, which is going to go in and open your energy meridians. It's going to help balance out your chakra points and really just get in and do some really good energetic healing on your body, right? But you can also get something called a Reiki attunement. An attunement is something that opens your energy being and connects it with your physical being to give you a safe way to harness and direct and heal energy and to be able to feel it, right? That's the short and sweet version. Now, there's traditional Reiki out there called Usui Reiki, and with this, there's very traditional symbols. And here's the thing, guys. There's a lot of New Agers out there that don't like the idea of having these set rules. Okay, so just to clarify a couple things with Usui Reiki and almost all the modalities that are out there, these things have been created with the base principles of the universe and a way of having balance and having a way of having protection, right? So anyone that's been out there trying to do like astral projecting, like I'm scared to do that because I don't know if something's going to come into my body. That's not a real thing. Nothing can come into your body. But the idea that something could happen, that idea, the fact that you have that creator gene in you, that God energy in you, that divinity, believing that will create that as an opportunity. But knowing that you're divine, knowing your source, knowing that nothing like that can happen, there's nothing that you need to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. However, still accidents do happen. So if you take something like with Reiki, and guys, on the radio, Artists First, love you guys. I am pulling up, again, just another image. It's really important. And what this symbol is called is shokure, okay? Any of the dialect, grammar, Nazis, pronunciation, I apologize. You guys know what I'm talking about. Shokure, right? So this symbol is one of the first symbols, it's the first symbol that you will learn within the Reiki practice, right? So now this symbol, guys, this is not the only way to generate energy. It's not the only way to harness it. It's not the only way for anything. But it is a very simple, easy discipline to learn that has automatic safeguards that are built into the practice. So using this symbol and following these shapes gives you the safest, simplest, pure, clear way of being able to harness divine energy into anything that you're directing it into. Now, I say it that way because a lot of people don't know this, but with Reiki, you can actually use it as ways of putting divine and healing energy into your food. You can, before you go to do a presentation, you can put it into the area, the stage that you're going to be on. I mean, there's a number of different ways to use it. Again, there's not any one way. But with the Usui Reiki and with the traditional version, again, guys, this is just the safest way to be able to harness this energy, if that makes sense, okay? Now, aside from that, there's also things called Reiki On. Now, Reiki On is where you're actually putting your hands on someone, all right? And let's see, I think I even got a picture ready for that. But again, just having hands maybe 1 to 2 inches away is the traditional version, to where you're not even actually touching the person. And some people prefer it that way. Some people, their body just resonates that way. Sometimes the practitioner, just what works better for them is in that way. So again, this is again, guys, just a way of being able to do it, that it doesn't have to be just one specific way, right? So now, moving on past the traditional and moving past the Reiki on, you also have something called Chaos Reiki, right? Now, one of the things I like to talk to people about, because I love helping people get into Reiki and getting into healing and energy and discovering these like amazing gifts that we've been blessed with. There's a book out there called The Magic of Reiki. It's black and purple. I can never pronounce the guy's name, and a friend of mine is borrowing it right now, a good fairy friend of mine. So, but if you look it up, The Magic with a K, he goes in and talks about something called Chaos Reiki. Now, traditionally, guys, if you're using candles to harness energy, you're using crystals as a way to create a field, these type of things added into Reiki is what's considered to be Chaos Reiki, because you're adding in other energies that can create a chaotic environment if you're not sure of what it is that you're doing. So on YouTube, guys, this is essentially what regular Reiki would look like. It looks like nothing's happening. You can see nothing at all. But I swear to you, if you've not had the experience, go in and get it done. You will feel these shifts happening within your being. And you may have a way to describe it, but it's very, very difficult. And it's amazing. Afterwards, you feel kind of drunk. Like you feel disconnected a little bit, but you feel really euphoric. You'll sleep amazingly. And this is, again, guys, just one modality and one way of learning how to manipulate and start to work with energy. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So as I was talking about earlier, at level 1 Reiki, your energy field, that without an attunement or without being into an already very good spiritual path, and I don't mean religious, I mean spiritual, to where you're very connected with the divine. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you're there, I promise. But so Reiki 1 is just a really easy way to do it if you're not there yet, because it will introduce you and open these things into your body. And guys, I'm telling you, it's really interesting. Like if you notice friends and family that you've had, or maybe even if it's you, you start going to the gym, right? And it's not something you've ever had in your routine, but as you're going to the gym, because you're around these new type of people, right? You're in a new environment. You have new food that's available, new nutrients, just all sorts of different things that are not in your regular routine. There's other little habits that you're going to start to pick up on. There's going to be new relationships you're going to begin to build, right? And so that same thing happens once you start embracing and working on these type of things. So anyone that's out there that's feeling stagnant in their growth or lost or not sure what to do next, just know that going in and studying something as simple as Reiki is one of these things that will get you into that environment that will create a ton of other opportunities for you to really go out and flourish and build in 2019 into your wizard, your fairy, into your archetype of this supernatural being that you really are. It's amazing. And we should be using it and harnessing it every day, just to heal each other and heal the world. You know, that's what we're here for. So at level 1, your field goes from your skin level, right, to maybe an inch to an inch and a half away. And at that point, you'll be able to start, if not already, right, because a lot of people are in tune sooner than that, you'll be able to start feeling as people walk past you without even touching you. As they start to even get close to you, you'll have a sensation of their energy field getting close to you before they've even got there, right? It's a really interesting thing. Let me see. I hope that makes sense to everybody, right? So here, this will help. So what I did is I went online and I found a really cool photo of like a chakra or a body, right? And with this visualization, I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to see, and guys on Instagram, sorry, it's not working. You guys can jump over on YouTube, orderofalchemy.org, and you'll be able to see all the stuff. Again, because of the technical difficulties, it wasn't working on Facebook, wasn't working on IG. And Artist First, sorry, love you guys though. All right, thank you. So here's kind of a visual. So you can see the aura body that's coming out, and as we have our chakra points as like a spectrum of color, again, being an energy being that we are, we have the full spectrum on this plane, and then some things we can't even see. But as that field expands, as that field grows, from things like eating correctly, from meditating, from getting the right amount of rest, not sleep, rest, right? Doing your divine work. Guys, I'm telling you, there is something that will happen to you when you begin to create what's the pure thing for you. right? And now, again, yesterday for Midweek Magic, we were talking about the seasons in our lives. And so sometimes people do have a very specific season where you have to do the 9 to 5. They have the season where they don't have the mental or physical capacity to get into the Reiki practice and all these things. And that's all understandable, guys. The main thing that you need to focus on is just any type of self-growth and type of self-development. All right, it's very, very important. Now, here's a really this is where the line becomes less murky, and this is where the science becomes the science fiction, right? Because there's the lines getting blurred more and more all the time. So check this out. So with our energy field that we have, right, there's things out there, guys, called the platonic solids. Okay, now the platonic solids, we'll go with this picture for now, are basically shapes that have the exact same amount of sides that are all the same shape, same amount of faces, same shape, everything fits perfectly, right? There's only 5 shapes out there that are in this form, right? They are part of the building blocks of the universe. Hey, Steve, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. We're working on your thing, by the way. We got the emails. Everything's looking really good, baby. So let me pull this up really quick. Okay, so the platonic solids. So you guys will definitely recognize some of these symbols because we advertise them on Mystech as part of the chakra being that you have as well. And let's see. So we'll start with, I can't see what you guys can see, but we'll see. It's cool. The tetrahedron, right? So the tetrahedron is the 4-sided triangular shape, right? Now this corresponds with fire. Now here's what's really cool, guys. I want you guys to understand something. Your ability to create is only limited as deeply as your imagination is. Okay. What that means is your ability to visualize and realize a color, a shape, a direction, a speed. The more detail that you can give these things while you're working on your own energy work and your own energy exercises, the more tangible and the deeper it's going to become. Right. So the exercise I'm going to go over with you guys right now, you can do before you've had Reiki done and before Reiki treatments. And if you don't feel anything, I apologize. It's going to be part of that blockages and stuff. Right. But just before I get into that, what I want you guys to also consider for a second is aside from just the conscious movement that's happening right now, as far back in history, mankind has used things like crystals, sages, candle, all these different things to clear out areas, right? Now, all these things, guys, these are all conduits, right? There's aside from the energy and electricity and solar and all these things that we can see, there's also something called the ether, right? Tesla talked about this a lot, and I've got a thing we'll pull up later and I'll go over the exact quote, but it's this like the 5th dimension, right? The 5th element, something like that, right? It's the ether. It's where all of these other energies, these intangibles reside within, right? And it's around us all the time. So getting into a place where you can be within the ether, you can start feeling out different energies in different shapes. So that ether that's there, right? Very similar to how the electricity that's running through the wires, if you build specific circuits and you build specific conduits and certain channels, you can harness that energy and do amazing, powerful things with it, like reach 5 million people worldwide on a radio show. It's crazy to me, but that's an element and a way of harnessing energy that we can physically understand, something that we've been focused on. So we're talking about tonight on Alchemy 101 is a way of getting into these same things, but at the etheric level and being able to really tap in to be able to finally feel these things tangibly. It's amazing. So we'll start with the tetrahedron, or we'll start with Earth. We'll start there. All right. And actually, while I'm on that, what I'll do also for you guys. So Order of Alchemy, if you guys are on the YouTube channel right now, we also have a website, right? And I'm working on the books and the classes right now. It just got a little cold in Portland, so I had to slow it down a little bit. Ryan, how you doing, baby? Good seeing you, man. It's going to be a good show, man. Stick around if you got a second. You love this. So let me pull this up. So we'll stop that one. Love you guys. Oh, yeah, you see it. Man. Can't wait till I'm professional at this, like some of my people. All right, so look, so Order of Alchemy, right? So starting on Earth, right? Let me pull this back up. Bam, bam, bam. We all still on the same page. Okay, this one's gonna come over here. That was gonna go there. Yeah, you guys got it. Bam. All right. So there. All right. So starting with Earth, right? The platonic solid, the cube, right? So this has 6 faces, and it's called the hexahedron. Okay, now this is related with Earth. It's related with stability, strength, and just that grounding feeling, right? So when you guys do your energy work, and I don't know if anyone's done the practices or not or anything like that, but very simple way is just getting your hands together, right? And visualizing your light body. Now, you can pull up a picture on YouTube if that's something that helps you to see what an energy body looks like. But at the end of the day, it's entirely going to be what you're able to visualize. You're going to know your energy better than anybody else. Okay. So when you get an idea of what your energy body looks like, very similar to when I was showing the video of Goku earlier, Ryan, you missed it. Sorry. But what will happen is you'll be able to feel almost like a charge or a buzz within your being. All right. Now, when this happens, and it's very important, okay, I can't stress how important this is. You're going to want to visualize that exact same energy in a focal point into your hands until you almost have like a ball of energy around your hands or an oval or, however, again, whatever visualizer works for you, just get to that point. All right. When you get to that point, all you're going to do is take that platonic solid, the visualization of the cube. All right. And as you're pulling your hands apart, you want all that energy to condense into like a laser version or a light version outlining that cube. Right now, here's what's going to be really weird. If you can make that cube red, because that's the color of the root chakra, that's your earth color. If you're able to do that, yeah, the luminous egg, absolutely. Matt Finger, thank you, man. You got it. So if you're able to visualize that, and as you're pulling your hands apart and add that color red to it and really focus on it, your entire being, right? And guys, this takes practice, right? So if you don't get it the first time, don't throw it in and say, no, this doesn't work. Again, anything, you got to be diligent. You got to go after it. So you'll not only start to feel heavy, you'll feel a relaxation that will start to come to you, right? And you can actually start to grow this cube, and you can shrink it and grow it and shrink it and grow it. And as you're doing that, you will have this weird, I'm telling you, even just doing that right now, talking to you guys about it, you get this very weird tingle of a sensation of something that's definitely tangible. And I can't see it, but like blowing on my hand, right? I can't see it, but I can feel it. So something definitely has to be happening. Now, it's very, very important. And like, guys, when I had my shop in Phoenix, I was even doing classes on this to where print these things out, right? There's images of the platonic solids. If you go to orderofalchemy.com, you'll see the entire site, and it has all the platonic solids with the element that they line up to, with their main trait, all those things where you can print these things out, have them on the table in front of you, have them on a desk. And again, do that visualization of as Mad Finger said, of the luminous egg. I love that. That's gorgeous. And get that into your hands and just put that over top of this shape and focus all that energy into the shape. I'm telling you guys, again, the visualization, you're going to feel it, right? It will be almost conductive. Like when you're going to put a magnet close to each other, you can feel the magnetism that's happening. You can feel the field. There's something that happens, right? So when you get to that point and you can feel that earth within the hexahedron, right? Within the cube, within that platonic solid. Once you feel that, here's what's really cool. I want you to stop doing that and then go ahead and then switch over to the tetrahedron, to the triangle, to the fire, right? And the fire, that's going to relate to your will, right? The will of fire, your drive, your passion, what pushes you, what's helping you to create. And I swear to you, because here's the thing, guys, they don't really talk about this even within Reiki, the different types of elemental energy that's out there, right? If you get into some very advanced stuff, okay, sure, but there's so much more than just this one type of energy that we have access to. And if we're using it all and intentionally using it as a divine way of healing, there's so many more things that you can do with the circuit of all these other elements built into what you have access to, if that makes sense. So again, moving from the cube to the tetrahedron, right? You do that exact same visualization, right? But this time, you're going to use the color yellow, right? Because it actually, fire I know is red, but in the chakra points of it, it actually lines up with your solar plexus, which is the sun's way hotter than fire anyways. So it is yellow. And as you visualize that bright gold tetrahedron, almost pyramid type shape, you're going to feel, again, a very similar sensation, but it's going to be very different than that earthy sensation. You might have ideas that suddenly come to you. You might have the drive to start doing more things. That is one of the ones like for the Mystech stuff, right? Because we have the Solfegio frequencies. You guys can check this stuff out also at mystech.net. On that page, we have different frequencies that you can wear that will just help supercharge those parts of your being, right? So people that don't have access to being able to get Reiki done, aren't sure where to start, you don't get it. If you don't, not sure about it, don't get it. But I just want you guys to know we developed this as a tool with our biotechnology that we have to be able to help open those channels for people that don't have access to these type of things, right? So every day what you should do, again, guys, these are the ways. Love you too, Judith. Thank you. It's good seeing you. This is a way, guys. This is just like anything else. You have to be diligent, right? So if you're going to the gym and working out for an hour a day, right? That's what you do to get your muscles where they need to be to get to the place that you want, an hour a day with the food regimen, with the rest regimen, with all these things to get that, right? The summer body. I'm working on it, right? And look like this guy. So you have to do that same thing with this. So pick a day, right? If you just want to start with one day, or pick a time of the day where you can really invest an hour into this energy manipulation, which I know sounds insane because you can't see anything. You don't know for sure. But guys, we're all here right now. We all have heard people. We all know the stories. We all know the mythology. We know all of these things. All of that stuff goes back to realities, multiple realities that we still have access to all these things. These are just ways of being able to channel what's in the 3D, 5D now. And so going through for a week and just doing it for an hour a day, just do one shape, right? Again, start with that earthy shape, right? Start with the hexahedron, start with your cube. Even if you have the ability to go out and find these in a physical representation, right? So all around the Mystech HQ, around the Order of Alchemy headquarters, we have platonic solid shapes just lying around, just to be able to pick up, to hold, to harness and feel what that energy feels like, because it's so important. And so whatever it is that you have to do, whatever works and what's comfortable for you, but just try this for 1 week, right? Now, maybe you'll think you're not feeling anything, and maybe you won't, because again, I don't know where your meridians are at, and that's, that's between you and your being, and that's okay. But just keep working at it. After 1 week, the next thing I want you to do is move up to the water. Okay. Because again, guys, on Order of Alchemy, you can see the order. You're just starting from bottom to top. You want to start with your earth and work all the way up into your spirit. Right. And so start with this shape, print it out, start with that. Right. And it will be earth strong. You'll see it on orderofalchemy.com. After a week, you're going to move on to water. Right. That's going to be the asasahedron. That's actually 20 sides, right? Now, here's the funny thing, guys, and this is for all the flat earthers out there, I apologize. This is one of the things, at least for me, that destroys that idea if we want to subscribe that the NASA stuff's fake, which I don't. I apologize. But even at the platonic solid level, at the molecular level, the shape is the one that has the most sides on it and most resembles a spherical circular object, right? Being that the planets circular, balls circular, all of the main components are molecules spherical. All those things are there, means that, again, as above so below, micro to macro, if our molecules are circular, the planets are going to be circular as well. So that's just a thing. And the platonic solids kind of also re-solidify that thing, as far as I'm concerned, and I guess someday we'll find out. But so anyway, so this will be water. So going from earth to water, you're going to have a very, especially if you didn't feel anything. That's one of my favorites for the people that did the homework like this, that were working on their earth, didn't feel anything. As soon as they went to the water, because again, guys, you have to understand at an energetic etheric level, feeling earth to feeling water, a solid to a liquid, at an etheric level, you can feel this shift. So if you're spending a week doing this or doing this, and you've got your cube and you're just, nothing's happening, right? The moment that you do this exact same thing, especially if you've been spending an hour, and I don't mean an hour straight, take your break, do your breathing, but do your homework like you would do your homework, if you do your homework. But switch over to the water, and immediately you will feel it, because you've been spending all this time actually feeling it, but you didn't realize what that sensation was, because you didn't know that that's the sensation was until something changed, until something shifted, right? Like just getting out of 2018 into 2019, I cannot even tell you how many things, even though we're doing our same routine, have shifted within a matter of a couple of weeks. So these shifts happen all the time. It just depends on how physical they are and how much attention that you're paying to them, right? So now after you get from that, the next thing, then you're going to move up to your tetrahedron. Right now, you're going to move into your fire, right? You're going to get your colors, do all these things. And guys, you can find a lot of this information online. There's amazing videos out there. I tell people all the time, check out Spirit Science. There's just, do your research, go out there, be diligent, really, really be hungry for this stuff. It's incredible stuff. So once you've gone through, this routine a few weeks or however long, you're comfortable doing it, right? That's always a very important factor. Once you've done that, after that, what I want you guys to start then considering is getting into something like Qigong. Right now, when I say this, it's going to sound really funny, but I'm gonna pull up a visual. So again, everyone out of Artist First, I apologize, you can't see this. I'll do my best. With Reiki, I showed you guys earlier the Chokure symbol. Okay, what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to pull up another image for you guys to be able to check this out. And so with Reiki, you've got your traditional symbols. In that book, The Magic of Reiki, you actually find out that there's a ton of other symbols as well. Now, this is really important, guys, as you get to where you're being able to tangibly start feeling this. And again, starting with the platonic solids and the elemental intent behind it, I promise you, this is a very, very easy way to develop the skill to be able to start feeling into energies in general. Now, what you're going to find out is, so guys, I grabbed this image off of Shutterstock. But bam, okay, I don't have the rights to these images. I'm just using them, for the sake of the show. But so Karuna Reiki, right? You'll find out that there's other Reiki symbols as well. Because again, guys, all we're doing is harnessing different types of energy out of the ether and using these symbols as a way of building a circuit to manifest the things that we want, right? You guys with me on that? That makes sense? So with Reiki and some other energy type practices, you're using things like symbols, right? Like drawings. Now, a lot of people will tell you that a lot of these drawings are actually 3D. So once you're drawing these, whether you're using your finger, you're using your mind's eye, whatever it might be, if you have the ability to add a visualization of a 3D version to that, then that's going to become a much more powerful tool for you to be able to use and work within your circuit. All right. Now, so that's with Reiki, right? But here, check this out. With Qigong, right? And this is amazing. I love this because again, it's all the same stuff. It always comes down to what people are okay with talking about, which is odd, but it's cool. So with Qigong, again, we're using Reiki and the symbols there as a way of building an energy circuit to harness the ether. Right? Within Qigong, they're actually making the body itself the conduit. Right? So the same ways that you would see these shapes drawn in a specific way with Qigong, right? And this is just a diagram of some of the energy meridians and one of the movements that they have, but putting your body and putting these meridians in certain spots opens certain channels within the body to give you the ability to channel and manifest the things that you need for healing. Right? Does this make sense? So again, guys, it doesn't matter which version you want to go with, and there's not one that's more right than the other. There's not. It always comes down to intent and understanding of the systems that you're using. That's really all it comes down to. Now, my man Ryan, who is, I don't know if he's still in the channel or not, but in earlier, his amazing talent is he's an incredible artist. This dude can paint, draw, all those things. And that's his form of doing artistry. Right now, I've got other people out there that they love to make music and they can't draw. But both of them are using their skills and their talents in a way to heal and show the world beauty in their way of their artistry. So if there's people out there that are doing types of energy work that you want to be able to do, but you can't, don't be upset by that. And don't think it means that it's not for you. It might just mean that you need to find a different path, a different way to do it. But again, understanding that all of them work the same way. They're all essentially just using different symbols as a way to manifest a tangible conduit, right? So this is with Qigong, right? Now, hold on, I got one more. Love you guys. Let's see. Here, we'll get this one up. So with this, now this is going to be a bunch of different actual, and guys, on ours first, I'm pulling up a number of different Qigong actual poses, right? And I don't know how to do a side-by-side, so I apologize. We'll probably go back and forth, but that's okay. So with this, you've got them doing their different stances, right? So you've got something called lift the sky, shoot arrows, pluck stars, turn head. It can be simple. It don't got to be sexy. It's okay. But so these guys looking at these stances, right, where their arms are in very specific positions. If you look at this, these are very specific places that parts of their body are placed in as a way to direct their energy to build the conduit, right? Now that's in this form, right? That's the Qigong version. How you doing, Kjon? Now, check this out. Last week, we talked very briefly, I think, about mudras, right? Now, mudras are hand signs. Shout out Naruto. And what's funny about that is on Naruto, they go through all these different hand signs as a way of channeling their chakra, their chi, their energy to be able to do the ninjutsu, right? But again, it's all the same stuff. And I want you guys to see this real quick. So when you see these hand signs, understand that, again, there's energy meridians that are in your hand. And when they're combined and they're pressed together and they're in a very specific shape and style, you're able to use that to harness different types of energy within your body. So earlier when I was talking about making your tetrahedron, right, and being able to use it as a way to feel and form out your energy, if you add in, the root chakra, if you add in Muladhara as a mantra, as you're visualizing this, this will actually help amplify it as well. If you don't want to do the visualization of the cube, instead you can simply do the mudra with your hands. And again, guys, it's the same exact thing. You're simply using a conduit, an intention, a way of channeling that specific type of root earth energy into whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. Does this, you guys with me on this? Does it make sense? You with me? Good? Okay. So that's just a couple of different ways of understanding, but it's all the same energy. Okay. It's all the same type of stuff. So hold on, get one more sec. And good. I was waiting for this. So is you guys making sense? Is this good? You with me? So the last part I want to touch on is crystal gridding. Okay. And this is very, very, very important because again, it's all the same stuff, but with this, you get help, but you get help in a way that you might not like how I'm gonna put this, but I think it's pretty awesome. It makes me really excited. I love it. So what you're actually gonna get, no panelists. Thanks, blah, 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 blah. All right. So Tesla, right? Earlier I was mentioning him, and on screen, what I'm pulling up is just a quote and a picture of that handsome young man, probably smartest being we've had. Man, terrible stuff. Anyways, in a crystal, we have clear evidence of the existence of a formative life principle. And though we cannot understand the life of a crystal, it is nonetheless a living being. So even Tesla understood that within the molecular makeup and crystalline energy of a structure, that there's actual being within this thing. Right now, some people even believe that many of the crystals at one point were part of a whole and all share the same type of vibrational energy depending on the crystal type. Now, things like astral projecting, using very specific crystals at the same time as another person, where you can meet them astrally, would kind of confirm that that's a thing. But that's something that you guys need to go out and experience on your own, because explaining and getting into that is going to take it, probably 5 to 6 other episodes. But it's one of these things that you'll find out that, again, it's another one of these tools that gives you access to tap into the ether that's there, and through different conduits and different just generators, there's all these different things. So with crystal grids, and on Instagram, you guys can find me Halo Marques. On Facebook, same. You'll see a picture of this amazing crystal grid that I made, I don't know, maybe 3.5 weeks ago. It took about 45 minutes to put the whole thing together. And in the center of it is this amazing piece of orgonite made by a really good friend of mine, Brian Parker. Shout out, man. Love you. And so with crystal gridding, here's what's really cool, guys. Earlier, we were talking about, and I want you to consider this, with the platonic solids, which are the building blocks of the universe, right? That's the base form, just like we talk about within alchemy. Well, within that, there's a very specific pattern, right? There's a very specific form. So earlier, when I showed you guys with Reiki, there's very specific symbols, right? And those symbols are in a very specific pattern to create a very specific type of energy. Within mudras, same thing. You have very specific patterns that are within that to create a very specific type of energy. Within Qigong, in the stance, you have a very specific type of pattern to channel this energy. So with crystals, being that they're another being that can harness into the ether, right? It's like cats, something that's half in and half out. Constantine, you with me? You with me? So with that, building these grids in very specific patterns, and there's amazing books out there. Here. Sorry, I was not fully prepared. Like the Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall, right? Amazing, amazing, amazing book. And there's other sites out there, Shimmerlings, things like that. But once you find out what these crystals do, you can then use them in grids. And guys, use things like the platonic solids, use things like Metatron's cube that houses all the platonic solids, and use these crystals in very specific patterns. And when you do it in that way, you're able to use these with help, right? With help. So you have something else that's there helping you generate and tap into the ether. Now, it's interesting because you can use these things to open fields and to generate the energy and so on. But if you're using ones that are in line with the shape, in line with the element that you're wanting to use, the effect's going to be that much more multiplied. Hey V, how you doing? And so this is crystal grids. That is another way of building a type of energy conduit, right? Now it's really interesting because I know a lot of people that aren't sure how real this is or isn't, but they still have crystals around their house. And they're like, I just like it. It's just really peaceful. Well, consider this. A lot of us are in tune and in touch with our divine, with our God. We know this, right? We feel it. And sometimes when we try to explain it to people, if it's not in a way that they like, then it's not in an acceptable terminology. So don't ever feel that your way is better or worse than anybody else's. Do what works for you. Do what resonates with you. Because, I talk about it all the time. Some people love a peanut butter sandwich, but that would kill my baby because he's allergic. So you don't have to always do the exact same thing. But going through Reiki, going through Qigong, going through crystal healing, going through mudras, going through sage and plant healing, going through the botanic solids, all of these things, guys, once you break it all down, just like we've gone over tonight, all come down to the exact same base, simplest principles, right? Which is just these very specific patterns have very specific ways of tapping into these types of energies. So all you have to do is get yourself familiar with how to do that. Now, here's the thing, guys. I love to dance, right? Once upon a time, I was in a dance crew. Surprise. But when I first started, I was terrible. Now, I first started when I was 1 and I could barely walk. So that's my excuse, right? But my dad tells me when I was 2, because I'm an 80s baby, I was out on the cardboard doing my thing, right? Now, here's the thing. Before that, I was tripping, bumping, fumbling. I knocked myself out trying to do backflips more times than I could count, but I kept at it. And eventually I got to where I was really, really, really good, right? At least good enough. But so the reason I'm stressing that is if you're getting into this and you're not having fun with it, right? And it feels frustrating, right? It's okay. Step back, take a breather, and do it with fun, do it with passion, do it with love. But again, be diligent because again, I still to this day couldn't dance to country music if you paid me. I can't do it. It doesn't work for me. But there's other people that it works for them wonderfully. So just go with the thing that works for you, right? But once you get in, guys, this is the other thing. This is so important, right? Because again, within Alchemy 101, we talk about spirituality. We don't really try to get into the whole religious thing. But if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. You have to go with where you feel your pull to the divine. Now, the reason I mention this is because almost every single religion out there mentions, and I'm going to use the Bible because it's the one most people know, is where two are gathered, God is there. Right. Well, now I'm going to explain this to you as well. Being that you're a divine being and you have this amazing energy running through your human conduit, right? Which is the most divine being, right? Most amazing machine on the planet. It's insane. As you are doing that, the way that manifestation works is from harmonizing, right? So in music, when you're playing guitar, if you play 2 notes that are very, very aligned, it will make a chord where a third note comes out of something intangibly, but it's there. Right. So 1 and 1 makes 3. It doesn't make 2. Right. That's how the vibration works. So if you have another person, like when you out dancing, right, you can be out there dancing, having a wonderful time. Right. Right. Doing all that. I'm not doing none of the dabs or those are not dances to me. Sorry. Love you guys. But no, not going to happen. But you do that with another person. Right. The energy immediately becomes amplified, becomes way more fun, becomes way more undirected and organic. Right. It's incredible. So as you get within your divine energy being, right, if you can find another person, and even if they have to start at the same steps that you went through, that's totally fine. Once their energy being becomes amplified and becomes something that's tangible, as you guys are doing these exercises I was talking about individually, when you're able to start doing this with another person where 1 or more are gathered, I am there. That's because you have multiple frequencies, you have multiple tones, if you will, that are coming together to harmonize, to create a third manifestation of what it is that you guys are working towards. Isn't that amazing? And it's really that simple. So the more people that you can get together to do this, the more time and energy and effort you put into it to learn how to play your note very loud, but very, very in tune, the more vibrational things that are going to break through into your reality and really change your path into where you want it to be. But you have to understand that it's just as easy as that. Whether you want to say magic, energy, psychics, it's all the exact same stuff, guys. All of it. It's all the same stuff. And so if it's something that you've not yet experienced and you need to, like I said, find a Reiki practitioner, do it. Get out there. Find someone that can do Qigong with you. Go on YouTube and just start meditating. Doing these simple little exercises will change so many things for you. It's incredible. Right now, one other thing really quick, semi-selfless plug, but at the same time, because I want you guys to understand how serious this is. So a minute ago, I'd mentioned if you guys wanted to go to mistech.net, right? This is my biotech company. On our site, just give me one more second to pull this up for you guys. You'll be able to go into a section called the Solfegio section on the website, right? Now, the Solfegio section, these are the frequencies that we have research on that are used to help amplify the chakra points within the body, right? Which sounds insane, but it's very easy, and I'll go through it real quick with you guys, because a lot of people will get a hold of me asking me about which band should I get for this or which band should I get for that. And I'll even show you on here, we even got the tools built, the images, the sounds, all that stuff there, so you guys would be able to see and use our site as a tool to learn about this stuff. It's very, very important to me. Even if you don't get anything, but being able to go there and learning more about it is really, really important. Okay. So, sorry. Thank you guys are awesome. All right. And bam. Okay. So the first thing you'll see on the site, once you get to the shop page, okay, you're going to see our collections. And if you come down to the Solfegio, there's an amazing image of a woman with like headphones on, bunch of frequencies around her. These frequencies are the ones that relate to the Solfegio frequencies. They also correspond with very specific chakras in the body. Now, what's weird about this is back during 2012, they were talking about the end of an age or something changing, right? And they're also talking about us raising our vibration, right? And ascending, right? This is part of it. Well, here's a really cool thing about this, guys. I don't know about you, but a very good friend of mine, one of my mentors, John the Light, shout out, love you. He remembers, and you guys think about this, that the heart chakra, right, used to be 528, the green heart chakra, 528. But now, right, and if you look at this isn't just because I said this, guys, this is from research. Now it's 639 hertz, right? It actually went up an octave in the chakras, if you will. So here's a very interesting thing. If the chakra points of this plane are attached to the actual earth, and our energy being is actually raising in the planes, if something was here before and we raised, where would it go? It would drop down into the solar plexus. And guess what the solar plexus frequency is now? It's now 528, which is what used to be the heart. So it's amazing that whatever time that this shift happened, and Mandela effect, perhaps, you guys, you let me know, send me comments, whatever. But at some point, this shift definitely happened. And so now these frequencies are all higher up than they were. So it's amazing because it confirms that we are actually raising our vibration. It's incredible to me. But so here, let me pull this up. So water, right? 417 hertz. Now this one I have a personal thing for, because my wife, when we had our second son, was the sixth woman at the time that wore this one, which is for the sacral chakra of the body, that the labor was less than 30 minutes, right? It was actually like 17 minutes. It was insane. But so on here, if you come here, you can see the frequency is 417 hertz. The sound is re. Right? Like how do, re, mi, fa, so, right? So re, that's the one for here. This also has the element of water, which is the intent of change. And if you come over here and highlight this, you'll even see on the symbol of it, we have the sasahedron with all the information right there as well. So all the stuff on the site, guys, whether you come to the site to buy anything or not, again, I'm here to help and share information. So coming on here, you can find a lot of information about the Solfegio frequencies. You can find information about 528 hertz, 432 hertz, which is our music frequency. But again, it's just another one of these tools that are out there that a lot of people just don't know that they have access to. So getting on there, taking a look at that, I'll do my best. I'm hoping to have the orderofalchemy.com, at least the first chapter, first book all the way done, which will be the Gaia Way of the Earth by June. So you guys stay on me. I'll do my best to stay on it. Thank you guys, man. This was fun to talk about. If you guys liked it, please like on the YouTube channel, share it, get the word out. And this weekend, I'm going to be traveling tomorrow to Denver to get to LA. I've never done anything like this, but if you're going to be in LA, I have this weird evening type event. It's called the Family Style Steps Award. Now that's going to be Alex, yes, I'll get to that in 1 second. We're doing like a Chicago style step dancing, right? We're gonna be there. And so if you can meet me there, fantastic. Otherwise, you know, I love you guys. It's been awesome. Have a great time. I'll be in LA. Hit me up if you need anything. We're gonna be all over the country this year. I'm really, really excited. We might even have an opportunity, it looks like, to be in Burning Man. So I'm very excited for that. Alex, did the Earth chakra places change location? Yes and no, and yes and no. So yeah, the chakras did definitely shift. What was it? I believe the 852 or the heart. I apologize. I haven't looked at it for a while, but the main one of the spiritual centers that used to be in Tibet, right? That's where everyone used to go through their spiritual awakening and get in touch with their inner wizard, if you will. Now that's all shifted over into like the Peru, Guatemala area. So yeah, that happened as well. And so that was one part of it. The frequency of the earth point changing on just the frequency of the earth chakra point went up. No, they actually all rearranged and scattered differently around. The frequency of the planet, the Schumann resonance, that's been going all over as we continue to build these 5G towers and more electronics and all that crazy stuff. So that's a different part of the organism of the earth, still just as important, but different. The chakra fields and places are different than the earth's frequency. They're two different types. Like music, right? I'm listening to some Djedi in the background. That's my guy. That's a musical sound frequency. That's not the same as a resonance frequency. So there's a lot to it, but we have the show and we've got Alchemy 101 to uncover this stuff and just research and get into it. So I hope that answers your question. Let me know. Other than that, guys, next week, I've been trying for a long time, but I'm very, very sure I'm going to finally get her on. Really good friend of mine. She's this amazing author, crazy story. I met her at a festival. And so I'm going to do my best to get her on. And as we get her on, whether she's on or not, we're going to be talking about archetypes again next week. When that we're going to talk about, your people that are out at these places that are, yes, Alex, you're right. The Earth Crown Chakra is not in Tibet. It's in the lake. Yep, you got it. So the archetypes are when you're out at these festivals and you're out at these gatherings and you've got your fairies and your wizards and your fae folk and all these people. All these are just archetypes that help you understand your place in the grand scheme of things within the metaphysic magical world. And knowing that is incredible because it makes your interactions very, very quick, right? How do wizards interact with fairies? Well, they hang out and they're cool and they do amazing works together. Cool. That's just a simple archetype. What do I think about Madfinger? That's a really interesting question. The best way that I could describe that is by showing you. So on Mystech, if you go to the mystech.net website, I'm so glad you asked. We actually launched our own music line called Maestro Music. Now, I'm currently sold out of the headphones, but I think by next week, we'll finally have the new ones. We used our machine that we have to imprint the wires. Give me 1 second. I'll pull this up and show you guys real quick. On Artists First, guys, you can go to our site, mystech.net. Go and check out the Maestro collection because, again, we are conducting, right? Isn't that cool that they call music conductors, the people that orchestrate things, and we're conductors of frequency? Weird, not a coincidence. I love it. But so we have headphones that we're able to run through our website, through our machine and actually imprint our wires to 432 hertz. So when you plug it into any medium, those wires will filter it out. So you can listen to your other music, like the Djedi I'm listening to right now. I'm hearing it through 432 hertz per a wire that's been infused, not because someone went and reprogrammed it, none of that stuff, which that's amazing to do as well. But we're sold out of these headphones for quite some time because as soon as they come in, they go again, right? It's called Vertize. But I'm a very huge fan of that. And that's just, again, man, good question. But it's one of those really good tools that you won't really know or feel your whole energy being until you feel it at the right tune. And 432 hertz with your music, I've got, stories of musicians that have done, tens of thousands in the audience at a show where fights would break out every time they did this one song. And I was like, dude, why don't you try tuning it to 432 hertz? And when they did that, for the first time in 15 years, no fight broke out. So the 432 thing is so important. And thank you for even knowing that, man. That gives me so much hope. And man, it's very, very exciting. It's awesome. Thank you guys. Very, very good questions. So guys, I'm Halo, the Alchemist. Love you guys. This has been Alchemy 101, teaching you guys to acknowledge your lead and turn it into gold. Man, if you're in LA this weekend and you've got the time, please get a hold of me. I'd love to chat, get you some Mistech. Otherwise, let's try to be better humans, and I will see you guys next week. If you have the ability to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, it is Halo Marques. That's Marques, and you will be able to see the live streams, more updates, and just otherwise, good fun stuff of me going around being a crazy Jedi wizard in real life. It's great. I have a lot of fun. Matt Finger, thank you for showing up. Everyone that showed up the show tonight, thank you guys. Love you, and I'll see you next week. Alchemist out. See it. I missed the button. I missed the button.